Hi everyone, and welcome to Utah Reflections Online for the 2021-2022 school year. In this video, we're going to be talking about the My Reflections entries section of Utah Reflections Online. To get to Utah Reflections Online, you'll go to www.utahpta.org/ref for ref. To submit a reflections entry, you'll click on the teal Submit Reflections Entries button. You will need to have an account on utahpta.org. If you do not have one, you will be prompted to create one. If you have an account, you will be prompted to log in. This will take you to the My Reflections Entries section. There are two sections to this area. The first is My Submitted Entries. Reflections entries you have submitted are listed below. Click the Add Entry button to submit a new entry. The second section is My Schools. The list below shows the Reflections entry deadline and Reflections admins for the schools linked to your user profile. You can only submit Reflections entries for schools linked to your user profile. If needed, you can add or edit your PTA units in your user profile. And there's a link right here where you or parents can go to add more schools if needed. To add a school, you click on the green Add button. This takes you into your user profile section. Select a PTA unit below to link to your user profile. If you hold a PTA position in this PTA unit, you can select it or leave the field set to none. Here in the PTA/PTSA unit, you basically just click on the drop-down menu, choose your school. There are several schools in Utah with the same name, so be sure to select the correct city and school. Here in the type, you're going to enter whether you're a parent, teacher, or student, or other. I have a feeling most people coming in here are going to be parents. And your PTA position, if this is applicable. If you hold one of these positions, go ahead and enter it. If not, leave it blank. Check the box to certify that the information you entered is correct, and then click on the blue Submit button. After your school has been added, you can view the Reflections admin's contact information in the My School section of your user profile. We are in the user profile right now, and you have your list of PTA units that you're affiliated with, and you can click right here on Members, and this will bring up the list of Reflections admins that are assigned to that school. Return to the main page for Utah Reflections Online by clicking on the little person icon and selecting Reflections. Remember, once the user profile has been set with the correct schools linked, parents will not need to repeat this process. So to submit an entry, you're going to click on the teal Submit Reflections Entry button, and this will take you back to the My Reflections Entry section, and we're going to go to the My Submitted Entries section. Here, you're going to click on the Add Entry. Fill out the form below to submit your Reflections entry. Required fields are marked with a red asterisk. All entries must follow the Reflections program rules, including rules for specific categories, which are available on the Reflections rules page. There's a link right there for that. The parent-guardian information. This information in this section is pulled from your user profile. If any of this information is correct, please update your user profile, and there's a link that'll take you back to that section. The student information. You're going to enter the student's first name, last name, the pronunciation if needed, enter their grade and age. School information. Only schools linked to your user profile are listed here. If your school is not listed, you can link your school to your user profile. And again, there is another link there. For your school and PTA, you'll click on this list. Any schools that are linked to your profile will appear there. You'll choose the grade division, enter the teacher's name. This field is only required for elementary school students. Enter your homeroom teacher's last name only. Awards will be delivered to your homeroom teacher if your school does not hold an awards ceremony. Okay, in the entry details, you're going to enter the title of the piece, the title of the work. This is required. Untitled is not considered a title of an entry. You need to type in an actual title. You'll type in the artist statement. This must be between 10 and 100 words. If the statement is too long or too short, it will not be accepted and will be prompted to lengthen or shorten the statement. Describe this artwork and how it relates to the theme. Must be completed by the student. Parents may type for K through 2nd students, but type exactly what they say and do not edit their statement. This must be between 10 and 100 words, and it gives you your current word count and how many words you have remaining. You're going to select the category. Every time you select a category, a new section will appear that's pertaining to that particular category. You'll upload an entry using the section file right here where you choose a file, and then you'll click on upload. Note that you will only be able to upload the file types that are accepted according to the rules. Allowed file types are listed on the entry form below the gray Choose File button. You'll find that information right here. Enter any required details about the entry. Dance choreography and film production will ask for background music. You'll be asked to enter that here. You'll list the song titles and artist names for any music used in your dance video or in your film. Literature will ask for word count. The maximum is 2,000 words. Music composition, so we'll ask for the audio file, and you'll need to make sure that to include notation or a musically technical statement for middle and high school divisions. For elementary students, for the primary and intermediate divisions, just click on none. For middle and high school students, if they want to upload music notation, they can upload it there, choose the file, click on upload. If they prefer to do the musically technical statement, then click here, then type their statement here, and that's all they need to do. If you have any questions about that, see the rules for music because this is a change this year. Photography will ask for dimensions, and 2D visual art and 3D visual art will ask for the materials that were used along with the dimensions of the piece. Once you've entered all of that information, with every one of these, you're going to certify that the entry has complied with the category rules. Then we move into the consent form section. A consent form is required for any person other than the student submitting the artwork who is recognizable in image or voice in the artwork. Consent forms and consent form guidelines are available in the Reflections Forms page. And again, there's a link. So you're going to select one of the two options. If the entry does not require a consent form, or this entry requires a consent form. If an entry requires a consent form, the form needs to be printed out from the Reflections Forms page on the Utah PTA website. A link to this form is in the informational blue box for this section. There's the link right here. On the entry form, after you've had the consent form filled out and signed, on the entry form you will type the names that appear on the consent form. Make sure you have the signatures. You'll take a picture of the completed consent form or scan it into your computer. The file needs to be a JPEG, PNG, or PDF. You'll choose the file from your computer, and then you'll click on Upload so that it can be attached to the entry form. Terms and conditions. Ownership of this entry shall remain the property of the entrant, but entry into this program constitutes entrant's irrevocable consent that PTA may display, print, distribute, and create derivative works for PTA purposes. Submission of entry constitutes acceptance of all rules and conditions. Check both statements. Certify that you're a parent or guardian of the student submitting the entry, and you agree to all of the above terms and the Utah PTA Reflections official rules. If you are not the student's parent or guardian and are submitting an entry on behalf of a parent, you must submit the entry in the admin section and have a signed abbreviated entry form. Watch the video for local admins for more details. Then once all of that is done, you'll click on the blue Submit button. Some helpful tips. If you need to make changes to your entry after submitting, contact the Reflections admin at your school. Judges will be looking at the artwork using the files uploaded with the entry form. Make sure the images present the art in the best way possible. Literature entries must be submitted as one PDF file. There are several tutorials available online that will walk you through how to save a document or picture as a PDF. For film production, the student submitting the entry must be the cameraman or have the camera on a tripod for the entire film. If any part of the entry has someone else running the camera, it does not meet the rules. Read the category rules and facts before submitting entries to ensure you have followed all of the rules. We hope this tutorial was helpful. Watch the other videos for details on judging and managing entries as the reflection specialist for your school.